we plant our seeds. We don't get to
Right.
see where they bloom. Or the person that needs to see it is going to see it. I
Right.
believe that.
Exactly.
I have this whole thing called faith. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Starve the Demon, Recovery by Any Means Necessary, where we explore the real stories, raw truths, and radical ways people are breaking free from addiction. I'm your host, Jenna, and in this episode, we're taking recovery to new heights, literally, with Jump for Recovery, a movement that's turning skydiving into a symbol of hope and healing. These are the people who made that vision a reality. Carly Borgeld, co-founder and organizer for Jump for Recovery, and Duke Frank, founder of Jump for Recovery. Together, they're showing the world that when we jump for recovery and reach for each other, anything is possible. This is it. Before we dive in, like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs it, and help us spread the message that recovery is for everyone. Let's jump in. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Starve the Demon.
Hey, Jenna.
Hi.
Hi, it's nice to see you again.
Yes. Thank you for having us. This is amazing.
I'm so glad that you guys decided to do this. So what inspired the creation of Jump for Recovery, and how has it evolved over the years?
Well, let's let the founder tell us.
Well, I initially started in my recovery to learn how to take a break from things and do some type of recreation or hobby, because all I knew really was being so hard on myself and grinding. And I simply didn't want to do it by myself, so I invited a bunch of people, and that's how I met Carly on the first jump. We invited our recovery community. We started with 6 skydivers last year. We had 44. This year, we're hoping to, how many do you think we can do this year?
Oh, well, the reach is for 112.
112 jumpers.
I think right now we're at about, 39 jumpers, but we're hoping to build an outreach and get the word out there, because it is really a good cause, and it is building that community and building awareness for recovery as well.
How it's evolved is the last 2 years, Carly and I just paid for the event ourselves and just kind of drawing people. This year, we have a presenting partner, Reach for Recovery, 501(c) nonprofit, and they've helped, and we've grown. Last year, we may have had 5 community partners, or people that put up tents and tables in the recovery community. This year, to date, we have about 17, all of the area of West Michigan. So it's evolved a lot. It's really cool.
Let me ask you, now this is happening July 19th.
Correct.
Yep.
So people still have time. What is the latest that somebody can sign up to do this?
The day of the jump.
Yep.
Okay. Do they have to have a doctor's note that it's okay? No. Do they need anything like that?
No, you need to be 18 years old. Maximum weight's 260 pounds. And you just have to book. If you book the day of, you don't get our group discount, though. You'd have to book up until the last day.
What is the pricing?
$249 for 10,000, $269 for 14,000, $319 for 17,000. The media package are additional, $99 for a video, or $99 for photos, or $149 for both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So about $500 and people can get the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about $450.
Yeah.
$460.
Oh, wow.
If you wanted to get everything and jump at 17,000 feet, yes.
Yeah.
And now people don't have to have jumping experience, right?
No, not at all. It's tandem skydiving. We have a certified instructor with thousands of jumps under their belts. So
wonderful. Now, can you share a powerful success story or testimonial from someone who has benefited from Jump for Recovery?
There are many stories that have impacted from Jump for Recovery. A lot of people have shared their stories. When it comes to jumping, for example, we just surprised someone with a free skydiving jump because someone paid for their fundraising page anonymously, and we found out about it. So we went and surprised her with a skydiving jump, and she shared with us that she went to the event last year and she didn't get to jump, but she was able to be around the environment, see all of the energy, and she was so excited. Last year, she put in her mindset that she was like, yeah, next year I'll be here and I'm jumping.
That's awesome. I saw that video. I shared that video to a bunch of my groups. I did.
For the last couple of years, we noticed people in recovery, particularly in early recovery, that would have a hard time paying for the event. So what we haven't had in the past was peer-to-peer funding, which we do this year.
Yep. And then, of course, I got pie in the face because
Hey everybody, I get to pie Carly in the face because you guys helped me fundraise my skydiving jump for recovery. So we're going to try to sneak up on her real quick. Pie in the sky! Oh my God.
Oh, not the eyebrow.
It was just a fun incentive. Hey guys, I'll get pie in the face. For all these fundraising pages that get fulfilled or that they make their goal, let's make this challenge go viral. Fun, creative way to make sure people get their fundraising, get their family and their friends and their supporters in the community, because I know that skydiving is not a cheap event to just go. Not everyone can afford it, right? So that's why like the peer-to-peer fundraising pages are nice for people, anyone of the community, to try to help me get to where I'm going and let me share my story so that I can see if anyone can support me in this, because this is a goal of mine.
I love it. And I am going to put all the links in the description for the viewers to be able to access all of this information, be able to donate if they can. I think it's fabulous. I can't wait till y'all are doing it in Florida.
We also have provided fundraising to offer scholarships for people that want to jump that may not be able to afford it, so they can fill out a scholarship application. The number of jumps, of course, will be determined on how much excess money we raise to be able to put people up in the air. Yeah. And that's been a good thing too, as well, that I'm excited about, because it hurts to see people on the ground that are excited to be there, but you can see it in their heart. They wish they could be doing it. Yeah. So we need to try helping them with that.
I think that's just fabulous. Yeah. That is just wonderful. Now, what can attendees expect at this year's event? Any exciting new elements, guest jumpers, community activities?
Yes, we have two I'll mention, then we'll let Carly share a few. The first one I want to mention is actually Penny Smith is a recovery coach for Reach for Recovery. I believe she's in her mid-80s. She's about 80 pounds, and she is the most precious serving person in this community and has been for decades. And she's known in the recovery circles here. She booked the jump last year, but didn't go. She is doing her bucket list jump this year. So that's one of them. Another one I want to make mention to is Margot DiConcini worked out a relationship. I believe it's WGNF. It's a radio station. They are going to be jumping with a live mic and doing a live radio on Jump for Recovery. So that's kind of cool too. Yeah, we would like to be able to get video of that as well while it's being aired on the radio. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. That's two of the ones that stand out to me. We have other people that are doing the challenge, overcoming fear, a new breakthrough in dealing with medical diagnoses and so forth. What do you have, Carly? Any other ones off the top of your heart?
I just helped book two people from California.
Yeah.
And we're here in Michigan. Oh, wow. Okay. They booked their flight and they're flying in from California for this event. So
that's great.
Cool, knowing that people are coming all the way from across the United States for Jump for Recovery.
You're going to have at least 17 different community partners. So can you talk a little bit about some of those?
Sober Eats, Kevin McLaughlin, he left his full-time job to go into something he loved, and that was making food and serving people in recovery. So he has a food truck that he goes around to fairs and things, and he loves being involved. He came last year. Also, Fit Body Boot Camp is one of them. Woo-hoo! We have Maria, Chiropractic and Wellness is another one. New Vision, Building Men for Life, SOBAR, Community Mental Health and Public Health, Muskegon VA, the Momentum Center.
Samaritan Way, Celebrate Recovery. Yeah, you got Arbor Circle, Women for Sobriety, Love in Action.
We have some more coming as well in the next couple of weeks.
Do you guys think in the future that this will be happening more than just once a year?
Yeah.
We would like to continue to keep growing and to continue to have more people involved. Some people have this as like their full-time job to do this kind of work. Whereas like us, we're working full-time jobs, we're doing this on top of our jobs and living life, right? But we do it because we love our community and we love love recovery and we
Amen.
love helping other people. And
Amen.
that's important to us, right? That it would be like the dream, right? To continue to move on. Even last year we talked about doing it in Hawaii.
Maui. We
Yeah,
got invited to Maui.
Yeah.
Because somebody was here
Oh.
last year from Maui.
Yeah.
In recovery.
Yeah. So like
That would be great.
yeah. So
and we
like,
have connections over there to make it happen, but it's just a lot
That's
of coordination and commitment and money.
So there's nothing wrong
Sure.
with like talking about like expanding it. It's just anytime like next year or the year after that, maybe not, but like maybe in the future, yeah. that would be great. It's just we got to have to find the donation and the money and all that. So I would love that. That would be amazing. So
well, for my part, and I ask is how can community members get involved, whether they're jumping or not. I'm nowhere near being a community member of Michigan, but I'm definitely a member of the recovery community in general. And it's my hope that I can use my little platform here and get the word out to people that maybe, they wouldn't get the word otherwise. So I hope that lots of people get involved and do this kind of thing, and that my audience cares and donates and shares, and maybe some of them go jump. And if any of my viewers jump, I want to hear all about it. Let's spread the word. Let's get it out there and let people know this is happening.
We just had a donation through a similar means through Carly.
Yeah, it was my friend through his church affiliation. Yeah, okay. Yep.
And they just donated $150. So the best way, if somebody were to see it and they wanted to support it, would literally be doing a donation online through the Reach for Recovery, Jump for Recovery, Donate. And that would help put people in the air for scholarships and for funding, peer-to-peer funding.
Yeah, let's get some folks up in that air, baby.
Amen, yeah.
Why is raising awareness about recovery so important to you? And what role does your community play in breaking the stigma that goes around addiction and recovery?
Well, it's so important because it's about rebuilding yourself as a person, as wellness, as being a person giving back to your community, as being a citizen. It's not being just AA or just NA or just, OA or Al-Anon, because we're all intermingled, right? Like, I think that you can't talk about recovery without talking about mental health, because I truly believe that someone doesn't just wake up and say, I'm going to be an alcoholic today. Without having some sort of trauma or some sort of depression or anxiety or something happened, something's there. You use your substance or your alcohol or your drug to cover up something that happened, right? What a community can you do to help? Like that stigma is, be a part of like celebrating recovery instead of putting down an addiction and mental health, writing them off. Maybe celebrate the fact that they're doing something for themselves to help recover. They're trying every day. Sometimes it might be hard enough just for someone to wake up and get out of bed in the morning. Right. Just be kind, and but also going to events to help and support, give someone a happy smile, just to show that someone's not alone. Donating, sharing people's posts, spreading the word, awareness. The fact is, it's hard enough out there. There's already enough weight that we all carry around. So why look down on each other? And why not?
I agree.
Up,
Well, and that's why my particular channel, I say we got to starve the demon. For me, the addiction is a demon that's disguised as a disease and takes away your power of choice and ruins your life, right?
Yeah.
Wants us dead, settles for our misery. If anybody that watches me knows that's what I think. And that's why I say recovery by any means necessary. Like you said, I don't care if it's AA, NA, OA, whatever it is. You got to starve that demon. That demon feeds on fear and isolation and resentment. And when you're joyful and you're doing things to better yourself and help yourself just feel better, that's how we starve that demon. That's how we put ourselves in a better place. Trauma is the gateway to addiction. I love what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. There's no wrong answer around here. Can you tell me, how did Jump for Recovery get connected with Reach for Recovery, and what exactly Reach for Recovery is?
I went through the Chester A. Ray program here in Holland, Michigan, 2022. And since then, I've been highly involved with not only that house, but with the organization of Reach for Recovery and Harbor House, the Women's House, in donations and just supporting them as a whole. And I know all the staff people there, and the ex-director was excited to actually watch someone come out of his program that in the local community and supporting it, doing an event to bring people together. And then when we started seeking a partner, a fiduciary or sponsor, Margot had just came from Arizona and took on the director of marketing and promotion and media. And she immediately jumped on board and said, we are doing this. We are the first addiction service in Western Michigan since 1975, so they've been rooted in the community. Other counties, Kent County, which is an hour away from us, we always used to hear out in the streets about Chester Ray and the Women Harbor House. And it's like Grand Rapids was like a paper mill. You just get them an insurance page, you get out. But they were having success in Holland. They're an all-service, medically assisted treatments. They have outpatient, inpatient counseling, all types of different services.
Our landing page for the Jump for Recovery and how you book and how you donate and everything will be through Reach for Recovery's website. And if you wanted to donate to Reach for Recovery as well, you can do that.
I'm going to put these links down in the description, but can you just tell the audience what the website is they can go to?
So our landing page, the Reach for Recovery / Jump for Recovery, you can register for your jump. You can sign up to be a community partner. You can donate to help a jumper get up in the air, donates to the scholarship program. You can donate to help the event get up in the air, or to help the event like itself, to the event costs. And you can also get contact information to get involved in the event.
If people just want to volunteer their time, maybe they don't have money.
Volunteer, if they want to contact us to help the day of the event, if they want to help like work the event that day, they can reach out. At the bottom of the website, there is a little button that will say volunteer, reach out. So
go to reachforrecovery.org/jump for recovery, but you need dashes in between jump for and recovery.
The Facebook is the Jump for Recovery.
Awesome. And anybody out there that has found me on Facebook or TikTok, I'll be sharing these things also. I've shared that video you had of the girl that got the scholarship. I sent that to like 20 groups on Facebook. I don't know if everybody sees them or likes them. You know, I never know what the actual response is.
Yeah.
We plant our seeds. We don't get to see where they bloom. The person that needs to see it is going to see it. I believe that.
Exactly.
I have this whole thing called faith. I show faith over fear.
Yes.
Right? Faith over fear in all things. Glory to God. You know, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all don't know. If you had known me before I got clear, I was like a whole different person. It's like a whole different person. I really, truly live by spiritual principles now. And it's amazing. Other people don't understand, but we understand.
Yeah. Yeah, there's such a level of understanding and an acceptance, and that was it for me. I came in by the law, and not willingly, but that's what I needed, right? Like when I first came into the program, around the tables, what kept me coming back was the fellowship and the community, and that's what was so important to me, because I always had trouble, even since I was little, connecting with other humans, right? Holding that like really strong bond and friendship. I felt like because of like my childhood trauma, I really had a hard time like staying connected with people. I didn't feel like I was really understood on a deep level. And when I came into the program, I felt like that level of acceptance, that I could really openly talk about my demons inside me, that people could really understand on a level that the quote unquote normies, I guess, didn't understand. Couldn't understand because they didn't know what it was like. Because like, the fact is there's nothing you can say at these tables that other people haven't done or been through or could relate to.
Right.
There's not a time where someone looked at me and said, oh my gosh, you're a terrible person, or you're awful, or you know what I mean? And that level of community and that level of fellowship was unreal for me. There was no judgment. There was no turning away. And even when I had my relapse after 5 months, I came back to the tables and no one said, oh, you can't come back, or you're a terrible person. No one. They like clapped their hands and they said, welcome back. That was unreal for me.
We're just happy you didn't we're happy it didn't die. It made it back.
Yeah. And so I was blown away from that alone. Wow. Like you said, when you're sharing and you plant the seed, just hoping that someone can relate to what you're saying and can hopefully be like, man, I want what you have. I can hear what you're saying and like want to be a part of like that. So just uplifting people and being a listening ear can be enough for someone not to want to die today or want to go out and use.
It's work in treatment as well. I see people come in and they're twitchy, they're detoxing, and I get to watch them progress. I get to watch that miracle happen for them. I don't have words to describe the joy that I get when I see that little switch click for somebody.
Amen.
There's nothing better. You say around the tables, and I know exactly what you mean. I always say in the rooms. You're going to hear it in the rooms. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, well, keep coming back, You'll figure it out. I don't know how y'all do it over there, but around here, we say it works if you work it, sucks if you don't. We like to be very straightforward. There's that theory too that if you baby an addict, you're going to bury that addict.
Amen.
So, we're just a little bit hardcore.
And Jenna, too, I just want the listeners in the audience, someone who's thinking about skydiving or interested or is on the fence about skydiving and not sure, or like, why would I skydive for recovery? Or why would I jump out of a perfectly good airplane, right? For what would that do for me in my recovery? Why would I do that? I'm here to tell you as like a real person that did it for myself. The reason why I got into this jump for recovery and why I even wanted to do this was because right before my year of sobriety, I just got diagnosed with MS and I was out in the hospital for a year. My whole left side of my body went numb and I just felt super dead inside. And I felt like why did I even get sober for this? I just felt really hopeless and felt like I was at the crossroads, right? I had two paths to go down. I wanted to go back out and just ruin everything, or I could go and just keep fighting, right? Keep fighting on the battlegrounds and just keep trying to force myself to wake up every day and want to keep fighting and trying to keep putting my makeup on every day, even though it was the worst feeling every day. Then when I saw that flyer at the 39th Street Club at a speaker meeting, and I just was like, oh man, this bucket list, I want to do it. And I just took the leap. I didn't even think about it. I signed up and I was like, I'm going to do this. And I was terrified. I hate heights. Sure. I literally was so scared. Like I've always wanted to skydive, but I never thought this was ever going to be an opportunity that would cross my path. I was so scared. Yeah.
Well, see, that's courage. Courage is being scared and doing it anyway.
Yeah. Walking through that fear or walking with the fear too, and just doing it anyway. Like you said, despite being terrified, it was like that spark lit a fire in me and it made me feel like I was alive again after I landed. And it made me feel like, man, there are more things to life than just feeling like I need to wallow in this self-pityness of, poor me, poor this. Despite my health diagnosis or my health issues, I can still make an impact. I can still help other people. I can still do this thing called life and I can still move forward. It was that euphoric feeling that just sparked that fire again. And I hope that someone listening can relate. And hopefully if someone just needs that jolt of that sense of just feeling alive again, or knowing that there's something more and bigger than yourself out there and having that faith over fear, just go for it. Take the leap, take that leap of courage and knowing that you'll have a whole community of over 100 people at the ground waiting for you to celebrate you and cheer you on. And I'll be on the mic being like, woo! So yeah,
I believe you.
What is it like skydiving? People ask that all the time. What it's like is you're flying through the air at 120 miles per hour, right? You're free falling for a minute, and then you're flying with like air parachute. If you're going down a highway at 120 miles per hour, and then just roll down the window and stick your head out the window, that's what it feels like on your face.
At 100 miles an hour.
I'm saying don't do that, like for real. But I mean, if that's what you wanted to feel on your skin.
I'll tell you, when the chute does open, it is so quiet and surreal and peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like the stress and the heaviness that you have when you're on the ground with life. Yeah. You kind of stay free from it for a little while, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really. And now, how long does it actually take to get from the airplane to the ground?
Depends on the altitude. It does depend on the height. I think you drop for free fall for 1 minute and 20 seconds at 17,000.
But that's
then when
less.
the chute's open, it seems longer than what it really is. So I can't answer your question.
Yeah.
You guys
fair enough.
You just got to come and check it out.
Well, it's different per altitude.
Yeah.
It's really different
That's
per
why
altitude.
I recommend if you're doing 10 to 17, you're in the air longer, the experience. It might be a little bit more scarier, but what I've noticed is the people that are terrified are the ones that have the best experiences.
Oh,
They
sure.
hit the ground like, I want to go again. And they're the ones like, beforehand, So it's just been great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's life affirming. Oh my God. Really am alive. Look at this. I've felt similar things, but they've usually been related to being on motorcycles. But enough about me. But
hey man, if we can get the Florida Motorcycle Recovery Gang to come up here, let's do it.
Dude, it's big. It's big. You know what? Actually, anybody from 301 House, you know who you are, is watching this. Give me a ring-a-ding. We'll set something up. Tonawanda, Florida, has a place called the 301 House. There's a bike club there, and they are the fourth dimension, which anybody in AA is going to recognize that. And they're a sober bike club, and they allow their house to be used for AA meetings. And they every year, like 4th of July, they put on this monster fireworks show, like professional grade fireworks, and people come from all over the state to come take part. It's a huge thing within the recovery community. They do a barbecue, live music. Tonawanda. So that is Central Florida. The closest city to that would be Tampa. They do stuff all throughout the year. They're really, really cool. I used to live in that area, and that was my home group at the time. But listen, people come from all over to go to 301 House. If you're in the Florida, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to take your information. I'm going to put it over there on their information. I'm going to see because I bet some of them boys, they can't wait to ride up to Michigan and jump out of an airplane.
Yeah.
If you wanted to organize something like that, we can definitely collaborate and work on housing and stuff like that.
I tell you what, I bet that doesn't seem so far fetched to me.
No,
we'll see what we'll see what we can do.
Different sober motorcycle
Duke
clubs.
His motorcycles.
I love it.
I just sold my Harley. So.
You make me sad, Duke. Is there anything else that you guys would like to say, share?
Yes, actually, it is important to understand the risk of skydiving before you take the leap. According to the USPA, there is a 0.0007% chance of fatality, whatever, which is statistically less than of a risk of driving a car. So just so you know, skydiving is less riskier, I think, than driving a car. So
I'm sure that's true.
Hopefully that is helpful to people that are terrified and they're like, oh my God, it's so scary.
So far at your events, nobody has gone splat.
No,
right?
Absolutely not. No one's gone splat.
Just checking.
No.
Full disclosure, no splats. That's great.
No.
But I'm glad that you said that. So
Praise God.
Let's give big thanks to Carly and Duke for Jump for Recovery, for sharing their mission and their courage with us today. Whether you're jumping out of a plane or reaching out a hand, you are part of something bigger. You're helping to smash stigma, raise awareness, and open the door to recovery for someone else. To learn more or get involved, visit their websites and social links down in the description. And as always, love everybody and let God sort them out. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys. Bye.